Yeah. I'm going to you, Bubba. Start ragging the back pocket.
How's everybody doing? GY, can you believe that? Gastonia.
North of Rock. North of Rock.
Franklin. Oh my goodness. I'll never get that one.
North of Rock.
I kept thinking Gastonia.
I'll tell you what about the lady.
Okay, stand by.
I really don't think you're going to have to maybe it's
Just a little bit. It's a lot bit.
And a good Saturday morning. Welcome to all you folks listening in over the airwaves at WPAQ 740 on your AM dial, along with FM 106.7. Welcome as well to all the folks listening in on the World Wide Web from who knows where all, and the folks watching live on our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning us in. You're here for another edition of Saturday Morning Merry-Go-Round, as we do each and every Saturday, broadcast live from the historic Earl Theater, which is home of the Old Time Music Heritage Hall. Well, it just so happened, these folks, has it been 2 years since y'all have been with us for the merry-go-round? I would say at least 2 years. And we corresponded over the telephone a couple months ago, and I already had this date booked with somebody else, and I try hard not to reschedule people just because they're kind enough sometimes to drive from very far away for free and provide some great music. So just so happened he told me that, well, we're going to be in town on the 17th, so can you make a note of that just in case you have a cancellation? And what do you know? Unfortunately, Surrey Line was unable to be with us today, so I called these folks. They're from all the way down in Franklinton, North Carolina, but I believe they're spending a few days in Mount Airy, so help me make welcome for part one of today's Saturday Morning Merry-Go-Round. They're from Franklinton, North Carolina, Highway 56. Thank you.
are Highway 56, and just like she said, we were over here on vacation, and now we're on stage playing and having a good time. So it's really nice to be here. I got to get Mr. Big Carter up. We got to kick this song off. Ready, buddy?
Well, the road is rough, but won't be rough for long.
Yeah, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. 'Cause that other man, well, took my woman and gone. Well, where, we got me walking off the soles of my shoe. Yeah, where, we got me walking off the soles of my shoe. Well, the woman's done gone, and all she left is a doggone blue. Well, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. Yeah, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. 'Cause that other man took my woman and gone. I'll get one more. Well, you never miss your water until that well runs dry. No, you never miss your water until that well runs dry. And you don't miss your woman until she says goodbye. Well, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. Yeah, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. 'Cause that other man that took my woman and gone. Well, Lord, won't you bring my woman back home? Well, I said, Lord, won't you bring my woman back home? You see, I ain't so lonely, I just don't want to be alone. Well, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. Yeah, the road is rock, but it won't be rock for long. 'Cause that other man took my woman and gone. And I said that other man took my woman and gone.
Great job from Highway 56. Go ahead and do us one more song before we take a break. Will that be all right? Yep. One more until we'll take a break.
And good morning again, everybody. In Mount Airy, we are Highway 56 from way down that way. The home of Eastern North Carolina bluegrass music, in a way. The home of Roby Huffman, the bluegrass cut-ups, Al Batten, the bluegrass reunion, and several other very fine groups over the years. And we're just pleased to be able to carry on that part of. Oh yeah, I'm sure you all heard of Gene Wooten. Actually, you probably associate him with Nashville. He's actually from Franklin, same place we're from. And by the way, real quick, speaking of where we are from, well, it's called Spring Hope, North Carolina, the suburbs of Franklin. Really way out suburb. Mr. Brian Taylor on the dobro. Back on the bass, Mr. Franklinton himself, Mr. Raymond Bragg. On the banjo, from Middlesex, more or less Middlesex, North Carolina, Donnie Barrow. And young Mr. Carter Barrow, who is Donnie's son, and he's going to replace somebody on mandolin one of these days. That's right. But anyway, as I mentioned, we're proud to be a part of traditional bluegrass music, and I can't think of anybody that does it any better than Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. And here's the Flatt and Scruggs number, Blue Ridge Cabin Home. There's a well-beaten path on that old mountain
my blues mountain home. Far away in my blues mountain home.
Great job from our special guest, Highway 56. We're going to send things back to you, Brack Llewellyn, and hear a word from one of our fine radio partners, Surrey Community College, and we'll be back with more music coming up on today's Saturday morning merry-go-round right after this. Thank you so much, Brack Llewellyn. Appreciate you very much this morning. And right now, I would also like to recognize former City Commissioner Shirley Brinkley. She's in the audience, and I think has a family member in this group. So welcome. I know it's been a while since I've seen you. Hope you're doing good, and thanks for being with us here at the merry-go-round, as well as all of the things that you've done to serve our community. Thank you so much. And back now to our special guest, Highway 56. What you got picked out for us next?
This is an old John Conlon song, and I'm a big country fan. I love bluegrass music, but there's been some bluegrass artists cover this song, and it's just one of my favorites. So it's something called Rose.
Yeah, I had to tell you that just because I knew you'd want to know.
Now I feel bad about my version.
No, you did a great job on it, but he performed John Conlon to a sold-out show here, which is quite a few people, over 400. It's been about 5 years ago.
Well, Brian costs us a whole lot less.
That's good. I do work for cheap. So anyway, that's one hero. John Conlon does one. This is a Josh Graves song that we want to do. One that he wrote on the dobro. Black Scruggs used to do it all the time. See, Donnie on guitar. And for those of you that are used to seeing Donnie with the banjo, this is a rare treat. 2 songs in a row and he's on the guitar. So this is kind of cool. But anyway, this is called Flat Lonesome, and I get to play all the notes on the dobro that I can remember. So hope I play the right.
There's not many he doesn't play.
All right. Ready, ready.
real quick break right now and hear a word from our sponsor of this portion of today's merry-go-round. That's Price Power Equipment over in Elkin, North Carolina, and we'll be right back with more music coming up on the merry-go-round right after this.
You doing all right, Sam? Okay, me and Kiwi missed you this morning. But you okay? Okay. Kiwi's kind of sleepy this morning. He won't go out. He won't go for a walk. But Marilyn said he had a bowel movement, so.
Thank you so much,
Praise the
Frank.
Lord
We
for
also
that.
want to thank our sponsor,
Okay, I'll talk
Price
to you
Power
later.
Equipment, North Bridge Street in Elkin. They're your Toro dealer locally in the Elkin area. Back to more music now. We'll do about 2 more songs, then we'll take an updated look at the area weather forecast. Back to more music now from our special guest, Highway 56.
All right, here's one of our favorites. I don't know if you have the CD in your collection, J.D. Crowe and New South in Japan, and I believe it's 1975. One is an excellent CD from one end to the other. Here's one we particularly like off of. It's called Gone, Gone, Gone.
One of my favorite songs that Donnie kicks off on the banjo. Talks about working on a farm, but not on the farm. You can figure that out however you want to. But I know that applies to a lot of people, and it's one of my favorite songs, and it's got a lot of words, so I'm going to try to remember all the words. And wait for Carl to get Capo on. But anyway, this is Sharecropper's Son. Sumter when I was 14, working cold ground for bacon and beans. The landlord told us that hard times is near, but it didn't mean a thing 'cause they're already here. Daylight to dark, my work's never done. Lord have mercy on this sharecropper's son. Well, he's fresh out of prison, says he ain't going back. Ain't roadhound in Georgia that can follow his track. Daylight to dark, my work's never done. Lord have mercy on this sharecropper's son. From down south, he kicked you tobacco right out of your mouth. Well, the water in the well is clean out of sight. We can't take a bath and it's Saturday night. Daylight to dark, my work's never done. Lord have mercy on the sharecropper's son. And we ain't got a bite. 11 in the family, 10 daughters and a son. Mama just told us there'd be another one. Daylight to dark, my work's never done. Lord have mercy on the sharecropper's son. When I said daylight to dark, my work's never done. Lord have mercy on the sharecropper's son.
Great job for our special guest, Highway 56. We'll want to take a quick break now and send things back to our WPAQ studios for a quick look at the area weather forecast. We'll be back with more music coming up on today's Saturday morning merry-go-round program right after this.
This weekend, calling for pretty good chances of afternoon showers and thunderstorms at 80% chance. And high expected to be up to 80s. Most of the mid-afternoon fall. For tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely overnight, mostly cloudy, or around 67, a 60% chance of showers this evening. And then back to an 80% chance of showers on Sunday. Behind 86, storms arrive.
I said something else that sounded really stupid. I don't know what it was.
That's every week. Springs Road stands at 82 degrees. That's 48. It's 11:32. You're listening to the merry-go-round live from the downtown Mount Airy. Back now on the stage with the merry-go-round coach, Jenny Lowry.
Thank you so much, Brad. And if you're just tuning in or just joining us, you're listening to the Saturday Morning Merry-Go-Round, where we do broadcast this program live from the Earl Theater each and every Saturday. I'd like to make mention of just a couple things before we get back to more music. First of all, be sure and stay tuned, because after today's 12 o'clock news, we're going to have another hour and a half of good old-time music featuring our special guests for the second portion of today's program. That's the Rock Castle Ramblers. And also, this is very important. I promised that I would do this yesterday, and I neglected to do it, so I want to make sure that I mention this. The Mayberry Square Dance Group is back to dancing. Their leader now is Charles Bowman, who plays on the merry-go-round quite often, and he wanted me to invite all of the folks who might be interested in doing square dancing to come to the Jones Resource Center tomorrow night at 6 p.m. That is Sunday. If you have any questions about where that is located, it's right up in the north end of town. They would like to have some new recruits. You do not have to have a partner. You do not have to have any experience. He will show you everything you need to know, and he's very nice and very nice young man. So if you're interested in that and you want to know more, I can give you contact information as well. Back to more music now for part one of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round featuring Highway 56. What you got picked out next for us?
Well, Jenny, you know, I was picking on you in the music store the other day about not having anything dobro related. So when I was making the song list up, I was throwing all the just ridiculous amounts of dobro I could find to do this. So this is a Flat and Scruggs song. I'm sure once we get going, you're going to recognize it. But we don't start the song like they started it, and we sure don't finish the song like they finished it. And there's really not a whole lot in the middle that sounds like them. But anyway, this is a Flat and Scruggs song, believe it or not. Heavy on the dobro, just for Jenny's music store down there. Well, that girl I love don't pay me no mind. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, sweetheart divine, put your little hand in mine. Well, that girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, that girl I love, she done left this town. That girl I love, she done left this town. Well, she left this town, now she's Alabama bound. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, sweetheart divine, put your little hand in mine. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, that girl I love is sweet as she can be. That girl I love is sweet as she can be. Well, she's sweet as she can be. She just ain't sweet on me. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, sweetheart divine, put your little hand in mine. That girl I love don't pay me no mind. Well, I said, sweetheart divine, put your little hand in mine. That girl I love don't pay me no mind.
Never can you, Frankie.
Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna do a little Jim. Oh, wait, what?
I want to introduce the Highway 56 dance team. Donna, what's your name? What? Okay. Donna, what's your name?
She don't want you to touch
Okay,
that paper.
all right. Okay, leave it right there. We're not.
You can't tell them your name?
Well, anyway, we'll come back to that one. As they say in the White House, we'll circle back around there.
More dobro stuff.
Good stuff.
It was a rainy Wednesday morning, that day that I was born in that old Sharecropper's wandering country shack. They said my mammy left me the day before she had me, said she hit the road and never once looked back. Well, I just thought I'd mention my grandma's old age pension, that's the reason why I'm sitting here today. I got all my country learning, I'm milking and churning, picking cotton, raising hell and Mayberry. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born no yesterday. I got a good Christian raising and an 8th grade education. Ain't no need y'all to treat me this way. Well, in sweet Carolina, well, I guess I'll never find another woman put together like you are. With that wheel in your walk, in that big city talking, and that shiny brand new Plymouth ragtop car. Yes, it's hurry up and wait in this land of give and take. It seems like haste makes a waste of our time. When I cry to my soul, when I hear the mentions roll, you better know I'm gonna get my share of mine. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born no yesterday. I got a good Christian raising and an 8th grade education. Ain't no need y'all to treat me this way. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born no yesterday. I got a good Christian raising and an 8th grade education. Ain't no need y'all to treat me this way. Said there ain't no need y'all to treat me this way.
All right, great job, our special guest, Highway 56. We'll take a real quick break and hear a word about a very exciting event happening tonight up in Elk Creek, Virginia. And we'll be back right after this word about the Elk Creek Jam.
Attention, bluegrass and old-time music enthusiasts and musicians. It's time to let your hair down and have some fun. Whether you play bluegrass and old-time music or just simply enjoy listening, you're invited to the Elk Creek Jam this Saturday, July 17th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the beautiful Eagle View Event Center in Elk Creek, Virginia. Admission is only $10 at the door, and children 12 and under are free. Local artists will be playing in 10-minute blocks, Fiddler's Convention style. Just come to listen or come to play. Call the Eagle View phone number at 276-768-8511 to let them know you want to play. That number again is 276-768-8511. 276-768-8511. Food will be sold on location by the Elk Creek Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary. And part of the proceeds from beverage sales will go to the Hands of Grace Food Bank. For a night of meals with the best in bluegrass and old-time music, be sure to join us for the Elk Creek Jam at Eagle View Event Center this Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. The Eagle View Event Center is located in Elk Creek at 639 Wagon Wheel Road. See you there.
Thank you so much, Brack, and I do want to make mention of that event. That is taking place tonight beginning at 5 p.m. up in Elk Creek, Virginia, the Elk Creek Jam, taking place at the Eagle View Event Center. It's going to be kind of a Fiddler's Convention style event, but not a competition. So every band that's performing will get about 10 minutes to perform, and they'll move on to the next group. So that's going to be really fun, and there isn't a admission charge, but it is benefiting charities right there in Elk Creek, Virginia. So if you are interested in that, you can check that out on our Facebook page. We have information shared about it there. Back to more music now from our special guest, Highway 56. Let's welcome him back to the stage.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Well, as long as we're on this dobro kick, really, let's break out an old Jimmy Martin song. This is a great song. The words are good, and you know the dobro part kicks it off. It's okay. I'm trying to boost more dobros. You know, Mount Airy needs more dobro players.
And I wish you would know that once in a great while, we won't have a dobro for a year. And then one day, both bands will have a dobro. The last time there was someone with a dobro, there was somebody with a dobro in both groups. So I love the dobro. I wish more people would take it up.
Well, we're doing a public service announcement.
You are.
People take up the dobro. It's a wonderful thing. It lets you just stand in front of people and make a crazy stuff like this right here. But anyway.
That way you can buy one too.
Jimmy Martin song.
You don't have
Little girl, you stand out in a crowd. Oh, you're laughing and you're talking much too loud. And I see that little tear peeking through. It takes one to know one, and I know you. It takes one to know one, and I know you. That little tear through your smile I see through. Oh, you've been hurt and you're frightened and you're so blue. It takes one to know one, and I know you. Little girl, please take hold of my hand. Just go right on and cry, I'll understand. Pay no mind if I start crying too. It takes one to know one, and I know you. It takes one to know one, and I know you. That little tear through your smile I see through. Oh, you've been hurt and you're frightened and you're so blue. Oh, it takes one to know one, and I know you. Oh, it takes one to know one, and I know you.
Another one of our favorite CDs, one of the, I guess you call it a compilation, is the one Ralph Stanley did many years ago called Country Mountain Country. And it was great because it took basically all Ralph's music and brought in all the super hot shots from Nashville at the time. They each took a turn trying to do bluegrass. Most of them did extremely well. And here's one off that album. It's a standard song. It's called Another Night.
Every time, baby.
our special guests of today's merry-go-round program, and we'll take a real quick break and come back with the conclusion of this first hour of today's show right after this.
Hello, friends. This is Frank Ricks of your Firm Foundation. Should we talk to the dead, or should we die?
Not usually the third Saturday of July that you usually come here.
Next summer, what
Yeah, but until I get up there.
Thank you so much, Brack. It's been a pleasure to have these folks on. Now, make sure I got this right. Is it Franklin or Franklinton? Franklinton, North Carolina. It's been a pleasure, and they've done a great job, and I hope to see them again maybe next summer when they're in around Mount Airy again. And got time for one more, so what you got picked out to close out your portion of today's program?
Well, we got just about every genre you can imagine in bluegrass music. We didn't get to do all of them. We did some farming songs. And we're going to do one now for truck drivers.
Highway 56. Stand by after the 12 o'clock news and weather updates, as well as local news. We'll have another hour and a half of music with you, old-time music from the Rock Castle Ramblers. You're listening to the voice of the Blue Ridge, WPAQ, broadcasting from Mount Airy, North Carolina.
All right.
Go plug it.
Vaccine information and how it might be enforced, something that has caused confusion in other states. Georgia's office said more complete guidance will likely be coming next week. Virginia's unemployment rate dropped 0.2 percentage points to 4.3% in June.
Take care, it was great enjoying it. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh, I know. Hey, that's one thing I think about. Hey, I forgot you told me you was running with them. Awesome. Okay. Great. Do you want to sit down? Okay. Yeah, great.
$700 million of the $1.3 billion federal funds available. Well, bringing American
Did we tell Ken to mute the mic?
deployment of mass-scale broadband infrastructure to underserved areas.
Did we tell Ken to mute the
In North Carolina, you rage over various actions taken by the Raleigh City Council, including pushing delayed local elections by a year, and activists to remove Mayor Mary Ann Baldwin from office. Livable Profit campaign today at John Jay.
Hey, the one time that I lost
We're good. Yeah. You doing all right, Sam?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, all right.
They have serious political influence. The outcome will be determined by Democrats who control of the Senate. If voters in that chamber, they will easily support Joe Biden's
Thank you again. Sure. Maybe even extra.
Federal stimulus funding. Projects proposed by including the town's farmers and recreation. Also recommended is the creation of downtown management.
Is there a way to angle your benchmark this way a little bit? I don't know if it's going to bleed in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to hear the natural sound. Well, I mean,
That's my motor.
I just pulled it down.
Come on, we'll get our seats.
I know, dude. Rock Castle Gold.
Thank you so much, Brack, and if you're just joining us or if you stayed around, you're in for a real treat. These folks are great old-time musicians, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn things over to them. I'm excited to hear some good old-time music for part two. Had a great time with our special guest, Highway 56, and wish them well travels as they head down to Franklinton, North Carolina, and thank them for a great program that they had this morning. Right now, help me make welcome to the stage for part two of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round, the Rock Castle Ramblers.
Thank you very much. We're going to play a bunch of fiddle tunes for you, dance music, and the first one we're going to play is Lost Indian, the Kentucky version. we're going to head over to Grayson County now and play a tune that Albert Hash popularized called The Hangman's Reel. All right. Now we're going to go over to Surrey County, Virginia, or Virginia. I'm sorry. I'm from the other side of the county. I'm from Virginia, so I get North Carolina and Virginia mixed up every once in a while. But we're going to move over to Surrey County, North Carolina, and play a tune that was made popular by Tommy Jarrell. It's called "The Drunken Hiccups."
never come up. But the ocean's not whiskey, nor I ain't no duck. I'll play these drunken hiccups and trust to my luck.
Great old-time music here from the Rock Castle Ramblers. We're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll come back with more good old-time music on the Saturday morning merry-go-round on WPAQ right after this.
I know Indian hit a woodchuck, lost Indian. I've heard of rabbit on the gum stump.
Possible.
Where did you hear that tune? Where did you hear that tune? Oh, really? Oh, well, you grew up in Vermont, huh? Oh, yeah. That was a beautiful place up there. Oh, yeah, that's Cape Breton.
Thank you so much, Brad Llewellyn. And if you're just tuning in or just joining us, we've got old-time music from our special guests, the Rock Castle Ramblers. And they'll be playing here until 1:30 p.m. And right now we got time for one, maybe two, and then we'll have a bottom of the hour weather break.
All right, so we're going to go over to Denmark now. The tune I'm about to play, I first heard when I was about 13 or 14 years old, played by a band from Denmark called the Rednecks.
They don't even know what Rednecks is in Denmark.
I know, they were just making fun of us, but they had a music video on MTV, and this tune's called Cotton Eye Joe.
It ain't exactly the same version.
It's close though. I went back and listened to it last year. It's pretty good. But this is a ubiquitous tune, honestly. It's played everywhere in the world by all kinds of people, but I suppose it's an Appalachian tune in origin.
outstanding old-time music from the Rock Castle Ramblers here for part 2 of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round. It's just about time for us to update the folks on the area weather forecast. Right now, I do want to make mention of this, first of all, that up at the Allegheny Jubilee, the Chestnut Mountain Ramblers, which Wayne is also a member of, they'll be playing tonight at the Allegheny Jubilee beginning at 7 p.m. So that's just Highway 89 west, and right at the top of the mountain you take Highway 18 to the left. And when the road comes there to the crossroads in Sparta, you'll see the Allegheny Jubilee on your right there, right across from the courthouse. And they have a great dance there at the Allegheny Jubilee. 7 p.m. tonight featuring the Chestnut Mountain Ramblers. Right now we'll send things back to you, Brack Llewellyn, for an updated look at the weather forecast. You're listening to the Saturday morning merry-go-round on WPAQ.
I might try to play this. We can play that. I might pitch you in. Well, part of my family did.
You got such a different accent. Are you kidding me?
That's where I grew up.
These ain't grown up.
He must have went to Virginia Tech.
Where you got school.
He got education.
Well, I never learned how to read.
He learned better.
I'm still working on that.
Thank you so much, Brack Llewellyn, and appreciate you today. And Brack and I will be moving over to our sister station today for the Mayberry Cool Cars and Rods Cruise-In. Starts about 4 o'clock. So if you're in and around downtown Mount Airy this afternoon, be sure and stop by and see us for the Cruise-In. Right now, back to more old-time music. Let's play at least 3 more tunes before we take another break, guys, okay? Back to our special guest, the Rock Castle Ramblers.
Baby O? All right. All right, we're going to play Baby O for you.
Thank you.
going to go up the mountain now and go to this place called Laurel Fork, Virginia. And we're going to play a version of the Cumberland Gap that's not commonly played out there in the festivals in most parts, but they played it like this over there, the Pine River Boys with Maybelle. And my fiddle mentor of old was Jake Lewis, Pawpaw Jake, they called him. And he played in that band. He was a guitar player in that band, but he was also quite a good fiddler. And I liked his fiddling quite a bit, actually. It was a little bit different than most people. He learned from his great uncle. And so we're going to try to play an old style of Cumberland Gap. Y'all ready? My A string's dying. I've been enjoying playing this tune lately. It's called Ida Red. The other day at the Floyd Country Store, we played this tune. And the concert master from the Roanoke Symphony came over and played it with us. She learned to tune it in about 2 seconds, by the way.
That shows you what school.
I know. I wish I would have gone to school. Now she was. It was quite amazing to play with her. You can probably look her up on the Roanoke Symphony website. Quite a good violinist. I would encourage anybody to go check it out. I know it's not like the local music we play, but I really appreciated that she appreciated and enjoyed playing our music. So it made me feel good, made everybody else feel good too. But I'm going to dedicate this song to her. I'm going to butcher her name, but her first name is Akini, I guess. And I don't know her last name. But she was really fun to play with.
on-time music from our special guests, the Rock Castle Ramblers, for you here on the Saturday morning merry-go-round. We'll take a real quick break and hear a word from one of our fine radio partners, and we'll be back with more music coming up on today's program right after this. Thank you so much, Frank, and Old Mill Music will be open today until at least 4 o'clock. Sometimes for the car show, we stay open late, just depends on how things go. But right now, and we're going to play all the way up until 1 o'clock before we take another break. So that's probably time for at least 3 songs. But I do want to make mention of this. This is very important, very serious, okay, just so you know. No, I'm really making a joke. The Mayberry Squares are back in business. Charles Bowman, he plays with several different groups that play here for the merry-go-round, including Robert Tilley and the Hard Times Band, and Too Young, Too Old. He's a great young man, and he plays great music, outstanding on every instrument. But anyways, he has decided to start leading the Mayberry Squares Square Dance Group. So they're back in business after having to take a hiatus from due to COVID, of course, and everything. People are not really wanting to do that over the last year, but they're ready to get started back now. So if you would be interested in joining up with the Mayberry Squares, they're going to meet tomorrow night, that is Sunday night, beginning at 6 p.m. at the Jones Family Resource Center at 215 Jones School Road. That's right up in the north end of town. And you do not have to have a partner. You do not have to have any experience in Western square dancing. You just have to like music and want to learn how to do it. Charles will help you. So if you need more information about that or contact information, you can see me after the program or send me a message, and I'll be glad to get it for you. Right now, we've got time for probably 3 more songs before we'll break away for a top of the hour station identification. So turn these folks back loose on some good old time music. What you got picked out for us next?
All right. Well, we're going to play a tune, and then I'll introduce the band. The tune we're going to play is from Kentucky Mountains. Just to take a step back, I personally, I love the music of Southwest Virginia the most. It's my favorite. But I try to make an effort to learn tunes from other mountains. So this tune comes from over yonder in Kentucky. It's called 4:30. It's just fun to keeps you on your toes when you learn tunes that have a different set of notes in them. I got to introduce the band. Over here on my right-hand side, coming from Fancy Gap, is Stanley Widener. He plays many instruments. He's an amazing teacher, and some people call him Stan Van Halen.
And he also teaches at Old Mill Music, so we want to make sure that we mention that. If you're looking for lessons for traditional music, he can teach almost any instrument, including banjo and fiddle and guitar and mandolin. So be sure and call us at 78 Music locally if you'd like to book lessons with Stanley. Sorry to interrupt you. Go right ahead.
I'm glad you did that. I really appreciate Stanley playing with us. It's a great thing to get to play with such a good player. And over here on my left-hand side is Larry Mabe on the banjo. He lives over in Woolwine, Virginia, which is kind of stuck in a holler between Floyd and Medzadan and somewhere.
I live in the bowl.
That place is home to a lot of good musicians and good music and good culture. I've been playing with Larry for about 10 years now, I reckon. If you come up to Floyd, you'll see us at Dogtown some evenings, and then we head out to the street and jam for the passerbyers. It's been a pleasure playing with him all these years. And behind us on the bass is Wayne Bailey. He's come from East Bend. We've been playing with him for, I don't know, 3 years now, and I really appreciate him. He placed over at the Mount Airy Fiddlers Convention in bass, and I'll tell you what, it makes playing music a lot easier when you have a good bass player. It makes it a lot funner. My name's Jason Phillips. I grew up in Virginia. Grew up in Carroll County. I never played music till I was 21. They always told me that I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, and I danced to the rhythm of my own drum. But I said, you know what? I love fiddling, so I'm going to learn how to play the fiddle. And I think I made a little progress over the past 20 years. Yeah, they wouldn't let me play band in school, man. They said, they can't play. Yeah. But I live over in Medzadan right now. I had a teacher told me that I'd never get out of Carroll County. I showed her. I showed her. I made it to Medzadan, Virginia. I got out of Carroll County. Oh, Miss Vaughn, my art teacher. Man, she didn't like me. But let's play June Apple.
Rock Castle Ramblers. It's just about the top of the hour, and so we'll send things back to the radio station and get a station identification as well as an updated look at the weather forecast. And we'll be back with music coming up until 1:29 with our special guest, the Rock Castle Ramblers, on the Saturday morning merry-go-round on the Voice of the Blue Ridge, WPAQ. Thank you so much, Brack. And if you're in and around town for today's festivities for the cruise in coming up later this evening, we'll be here at the Earl until 1:30, and we do this each and every week, which makes me make sure that I need to remind you. Next week, our special guests for the July 24th edition of the Merry-Go-Round, Bill and Maggie Anderson will be with us from 11 to 12, and then at 12 o'clock from down in Troutman, North Carolina, Third Creek Bluegrass. And then on the last Saturday of the month, which is actually the last day of the month of July, Wayne will be back with us with the Snow Creek Old Time Band and Eddie Hill and the Gospel Travelers, and that'll be a great program as well. Right now, back to our special guests for part 2 of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round, the Rock Castle Ramblers. Give us about 2 songs, and then we'll hear a word from our friends over across the street at Mayberry Music Center.
All right. We're going to play a tune called The Ducks on the Mill Pond.
I got a notion.
We're going to play Fly Around My Pretty Little Miss.
Right now, we're going to tell you about one of our fine radio partners located right across the street here from the historic Earl Theater, and that's Mayberry Music Center. They're located right across the street, once again, from the Earl Theater, and locally owned and operated by James Easter of the Easter Brothers. James would like to invite you to stop in and check out their selection of acoustic as well as electric guitars. They've also got bass guitars, mandolins, fiddles, banjos, trumpets, saxophones, clarinets, flutes, and much more. Mayberry Music Center specializes in Blue Ridge guitars, and they are the authorized Blue Ridge guitar dealer here in the Mount Airy area. They always give a $100 discount off the suggested retail price of their Blue Ridge guitars, and you'll usually find there some slightly used Blue Ridge guitars at Mayberry Music Center at a discounted price. They also have strings as well as all types of accessories for your instrument and offer music lessons as well as instrument repair. And James would like to remind you that if you don't see what you're looking for when you stop by Mayberry Music Center, just ask them, because chances are they can have it for you in just a couple of days. And you'll also find there a great selection of bluegrass and bluegrass gospel CDs, including titles from the Easter Brothers and the Primitive Quartet. Mayberry Music Center is open Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 4, and they're open on Saturdays from 9:30 to 3. They're always closed on Sunday, of course. That's Mayberry Music Center, historic Main Street in downtown Mount Airy, bringing you this portion of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round, featuring music from the Rock Castle Ramblers. So we'll go back to these fine folks, and go ahead and play us about 2 more songs, and we'll take another break.
So while we were sitting here waiting to play, we just saw a llama out on the street of Mount Airy. Or an alpaca, I can't tell the difference. It's a llama. Okay.
It's a llama, and it rides in a car. It just gets in a car and drives out downtown. I'm serious. The llama gets in a car.
Making sure that I'm not going crazy yet.
I was just glad you guys saw that too.
Well, once upon a time there lived a fiddler named Greg Hooven. And once upon a time. And I know when me and my wife started getting into old time music before we were together, actually, we went to a festival up in Maury River, Virginia, and Greg Hooven was playing the square dance up there. And he was such a rowdy fiddler, such a good fiddler. He would start singing while you were square dancing and just pump you up a little bit. Well, Greg, he just played such good music, and he died way too soon. I think he was in his 30s when he passed away, but he was probably, when I think of, if somebody says, oh, so-and-so's a good fiddler, so-and-so's a good fiddler, I always compare them to Greg Hooven to see how, he's sort of my 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. And most of us were about a 3 compared to old Greg. He played a tune called Sweet Little Julie. I first heard it from one of my favorite old fiddlers, Pawpaw Jake. He showed this tune to me. Some of the other good fiddlers out there play it. I've heard Richard Bowman play it, and Mac Trainum, and a couple others here and there. But I'm going to play this one called Sweet Little Julie. But if you look on the YouTube, you'll find Greg Hooven playing it. It's the best. That's all I got to say. Can't get over it. Greg Hooven is playing that tune somewhere with Brian Fain, another good musician who left us a little bit too early. But I guess we'll play one more before we have a short break. I had it in my head, but I forgot. Oh yeah, somebody requested that we play Whiskey Before Breakfast, so we're gonna play that one. You know that? We'll figure it out as we go. That's it.
favorite songs. We'll send things back to the station of WPAQ. We'll take one final break in the second portion of today's Saturday morning merry-go-round, and then we'll wrap things up with our special guests, the Rock Castle Ramblers. We'll be back right after this. Okay, so it might be time for two, or it might be three.
They're doing some over across the road.
It's time for this time to visualize 145. My favorite song to hear Greg play. Playing called and your cousin it's not down the road, not that flat street down the road. I got a pretty girl. Oh my God, it's one of my favorites. Thank you so much, Kelly Epperson, and good to hear from you today. Also, I want to send a shout out to Linda. Linda's watching in on our YouTube stream, and wanted me to be sure and thank Sam for being able to have our program on YouTube so folks can watch it from their homes if they can't make it out to the program. This has been a great one. Thanks once again to Highway 56, as well as our special guests for part 2 of today's program, the Rock Castle Ramblers. They've done a great job. Probably got time for 2 more good old-time songs before we wrap things up here on the Saturday morning merry-go-round. What you got picked out for us next?
Now that you mention it, I don't know what we're going to play next. What do y'all know? Mississippi Song? Is that All right, we're going to play a tune that's played commonly in Surry County, North Carolina, but also up on the mountains in Virginia. It's called Surry, or what's it called? Sugar Hill. Not Surry Hill, but Sugar Hill. It's getting to be lunchtime. I'm starting to get hungry.
Me too.
And for everyone here at the Surrey Arts Council, the Earl Theater, Ken White, Brad Llewellyn, and Kelly Epperson, I'm Jenny Lowry, signing off from another edition of the Saturday Morning Merry-Go-Round on the voice of the Blue Ridge, WPAQ.
Great.